Ah, welcome back. This is the Mimas's Mimas. I already forgot how to pronounce it. Reload told me how to pronounce it, and I forgot. Anyways, this is my variant of his design of his frigate. I decided to take this design and slim it down and make something a little lighter, a little faster, not as maneuverable. It's about the same maneuverability, but it's definitely got a lot more thrust, and it has atmospheric capability, as you saw in the cinematic. That's all thanks to these very large and beautifully placed atmospheric thrusters, and we've got a couple more just kind of placed around for variants of gravities and atmospheres on other planets. Something I would have liked to add on the bottom of this ship is maybe some sort of landing gear that kind of pops out and then like retracts and comes back in to land, and then have it back in the body and be super sleek as it's supposed to be. However, I still like the idea of having his ships just being able to be printed on a moment's notice. So if there was a conflict in space, you could have a station that just prints a couple of these ships like really quickly and then send them out just over and over again, rather than having to print them, then put the landing gear in or put other attached pieces like this Tandarian frigate over here. Now I've put these three ships all beside each other just to give you an idea of size and variance between each of these frigates. As you can tell, my frigate, lovely as it is, very exposed. You know, you've got a lot of these components exposed, and a lot of the greeblies are showing on this ship, and that's kind of the Tandarian style, and that's how I like to keep it. We also have a lot wider range of armaments on the Tandarian frigate compared to the F.S.I faction, where they have kind of a uniform design of where they have their guns. So basically for each corner, or both the top and bottom, have these large cannons, and then it complements with these nice, very amazing Guardian turrets. But for this light frigate, I wanted it to be kind of like a strike frigate, something that sneaks up or comes in and flanks enemy ships. So it has these two beautifully placed longbow missile launchers, and they can target ships, so they will follow, but they do quite devastating damage. As you saw in the cinematic, it actually completely took out the Tandarian shields, and they have one full large shield generator, so just having one salvo of these missiles into this ship will pretty much destroy it. I also like the firing arc of the original frigate, so what I've done is still have that capability of all four guns being able to shoot directly in front of it, but I needed to keep that very slope and angled look, so I wanted to tuck these turrets as close as I could to the body, and it fit perfectly. As you can see, it's right there, right up against that angle. I maybe could have brought out the turret just a little bit to the side if I wanted a little more of an accurate firing arc, but I'm pleased with the outcome. Now these ships have a distinct and noticeable ridge, but this ridge is actually made out of heavy armor, as you can see, and I think the whole center column is all heavy armor. The original structure has this ridged beam going all the way front to back, so I wanted to keep that ridged beam, but have little recesses to make it seem like this ship is just that much lighter. You know, they took parts from the original frigate and decided to, you know, we don't want this, we need less weight, so they would go ahead, take out those parts, slim down the whole ship, and I think it looks pretty good. I think it turned out quite nice. It's got a nice tapered look to it, and then on the back we have very nice exposed engines with tiny bits of armor. This is probably the weakest part of the ship, having this bottom part being very exposed, but I think it turned out great. And you can really see each kind of thruster module, you'd say. So you've got the two large ion modules, and then you've got these hydrogen thrusters just for that extra kick, that extra power. Obviously you can turn off all of the hydrogen if you wanted to save hydrogen, just drift through space, or use only ion. And like I said before, we have the atmospheric. So coming into the ship, we'll just come from the right side, which is very simple. We have this nice kind of like walking deck area, not for any purpose, just, you know, I thought it had this ridged area, and I was like, you know, that'd be awesome just to walk around while the ship is flying or something. So theoretically you could come over and you could access this turret, maybe repair it if you had to. And then we come in through this airlock. Fuck. Forgot lights. Well, there's not many lights in here, and there are very open spaces because I was having trouble. I forgot to take a look at the original design to kind of implement some of the original interior design, but I thought I'd do that on a later day. I wanted to just get this video out. So here is basically the airlock. We have the armor right here. Maybe we'd have like a couple chairs, couple seats over here, or storage of some sort. We have this interior turret. So if any enemies come through the airlock, it will gladly and easily take care of them. Then coming over to this midsection, we have this staircase that comes up to this room. And then it's the exact same on the opposite side. So we'll just go back to the middle. So in the middle, coming from the airlocks, you could come straight into the cap, which again is very, very blank and simple and needs some lights, needs some screens and LCD panels. But this is kind of where the captain and his co-pilot would sit. And if we come up here and open this up, we have access to the gravity generator. This was the easiest place for me to put it without being it too open. I was going to put it right here under this air vent, but there was a lot of exposed parts on the other side, so I just kept it here. And I think it looks pretty good. Now staying on the right side of this ship, we can open this door right here into the first crew quarters. So each is the same on both sides. So you have 2 bunk beds. We have this little locker room armory thing here. We've got a couch to sit. We have a beautiful viewing port. Now, unfortunately, in battle, this is another weak point. So if it does get blown up, you know, all the crewmates will be sucked out. But more than likely, all the crewmates will be busy working on the ship, maintaining it, you know, combat ready. And then if we come over here, we have the bathroom, the shower, sink, toilet, much needed. Then going to the front of the ship, we'll just follow this tunnel. And if we go over here, actually, that's not placed right, but I will fix that later. But that just loops around the whole command center, so then you can get to this side. All right, there we go. So I fixed it. So you can go all the way around, just kind of loop around the ship. And if you come to this side, you open this door. This is the med bay. Again, very exposed. Could add some details, maybe some MRI scans. I could put cryo chambers up here if I had to. You know, this ship is very modular. You can add and take away whatever you want. Room for improvement, definitely. So we'll close that up, walk down this, and then come to the front section. Now this is supposed to be an airlock. And this airlock leads to, quote unquote, the engine bay, or the whole component. This is basically the entire outside of the ship. Why is that not connected up? All right, all fixed. So the ship is like this, very open on the inside, so you can get to all of those components. You could have crew members running around repairing each component. Some are a little hidden in behind blocks you can't really get to, but that's, you know, that's fine. It's more of the majority, like the major components are exposed so you can repair them. So we'll keep walking down. Now we're in basically the midsection of the ship, and we've got these giant, large atmospheric thrusters where you can repair them, see how they're doing, how much power they're drawing. And we can come over here, access the hydrogen tank if we have to, and then see another beautifully placed atmospheric engine. And I like this placement because if you think about it, you know, pretend that it's not an atmospheric engine. It's almost like a fan blowing on the reactor to try and cool it down, or it's using the heat from the reactor, and sucking it down and using all of that heat as extra propulsion. Then, of course, we got our beautiful line of gyros and atmospheric engines, and we have a reverse thrust on the inside. So if you stand on this catwalk, you'll die. You'll be very much dead. So be careful. And then on each side, we can see that we have small shield generators, fully or half full of components. I would have liked to add a large shield generator, but it was just hard to figure out exactly where I could place it without getting it in the way of anything, without kind of affecting the exterior of the ship. But this has, in my opinion, a good amount of shield energy to kind of complement the thrust and power output that this ship has. Why is there so many ships everywhere? Do you see that? It's like 5 ships. Why? But yeah, that's my LYNX class light frigate for the F.S.I. army, or if they reject the offer, I will gladly take this into the chonk army. I had a lot of fun making this build, and I really hope you guys enjoyed the little cinematics and the journey it took for me to get here. Sorry for the late upload, sorry for the lack of uploads, but we'll be back on it as soon as I can. But that's all I have for today. Thank you all so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you in the next. And as always, stay beautiful, stay thick, stay healthy, my chonk viewers. But most importantly, stay chonk. This has been Lord Chonkers playing Space Engineers once again. Now, signing off.